Prior to a vote in relation to Peters-Rand Amendment number 2464. Senator from Michigan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise to urge adoption of the Peters-Rounds Amendment number 2464. And I first want to thank Chairman Manchin and Ranking Member Barrasso of the Energy and Natural Resources Committee for work with me on this amendment. I'd also like to thank Senators Rounds, Portman, and Warner for joining me in offering this amendment. It's very straightforward. It simply would align several cybersecurity provisions for the Department of Energy in this infrastructure legislation with existing law. It would require the Department of Energy, the Sector Risk Management Agency for the energy sector, to coordinate with the Department of Homeland Security on cybersecurity efforts. DHS is the lead federal agency for cybersecurity, and they have a central role to play in working across the government to strengthen our cyber defenses. As we have seen from the damaging SolarWinds and Microsoft Exchange attacks, a whole-of-government approach is necessary to protect critical infrastructure. This amendment will ensure that there is a comprehensive approach that effectively coordinates our cybersecurity protections for critical infrastructure across all sectors, reduces duplication of efforts, and helps protect our nation from the persistent threat posed by cyber attacks. Mr. President, I urge my colleagues to support this straightforward bipartisan amendment.
Mr. President.
Senator from South Dakota.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to support the Senator's motion and the amendment. This is a case of where we're trying to eliminate the silos within the federal government. And when it comes to cybersecurity, this is a really good example of one where you have multiple agencies trying to work together. This makes it very clear that it is not just a matter of discussing or consulting, but rather that it will be a coordinated effort, and it recognizes once again that the Department of Homeland Security and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is taking the lead role. And with that, I would offer my full support as well. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator from Michigan.
I yield back all remaining time.
Without objection. Questions on Amendment 2464. Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. Clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin, Mr. Barrasso, Mr. Bennett, Mrs. Blackburn, Mr. Blumenthal, Mr. Blunt, Mr.